Okay, here we go. Starting with an oil change for the WR450F 2011 model. Shouldn't take too long. Got to get the mudguard bash plate off first. One, two, three. 8mm. I'll put those back in there. It's actually not too dirty on there today. Okay, next is obviously get the drain oil container there. We've got the left hand side. There are two drains, one that side, one this side. Do this one first, as that's the side that I'm facing. Well, 12mm bolt. Now I leave the dipstick and oil cover in when I first take the screw out, so the oil doesn't start gushing out immediately. It stops the air flowing through. There we go, as you can see, just starts dripping out a little bit. I've got some new washers. And as soon as I undo the cap for where you put the oil in, you'll see the difference of the oil coming out and the dipstick. There we go, there you go, dipstick, and all of a sudden it starts pouring out properly. Get it straight in the hole there. So they do advise that you change these washers after each oil change. So I keep these and just find the right size and put it straight in when we're ready. I'll let that drain for a bit and then we'll do the other side. Right, a quick recording from this side just to show you where the drain bolt is on here. There you go, it's just there. There's no more oil coming out there. Right, well I'm changing the filter as well in here on this side. You can see I haven't actually cleaned the bike since the last time I was out, but don't have to unscrew this one. I want to move my drain oil cover over a little bit. Someone did these up a bit tight. There we go. The last oil change was done when I took it in for a service, so this is the first one I've done since its service about 3 rides ago. So that's about right, as each ride in total is about 150 miles. The much longer one goes at the top. You take that cap off with that filter. Check all your seals, make sure they're okay. They look fine. Obviously, if you're just doing the oil and not the filter, you only need to undo the two drain bolts. One on the other side is already done, and this one here. Annoying thing with this one is I can't get the actual ratchet onto it because the frame's in the way. We should get some more oil coming out now. You'll see I've got my head torch on now. There we go. Huge difference. And again, hopefully that camera angle is right. I've got my torch on. Change the washer on here again. It's quite thin now. I just got a packet of these off eBay. Can't remember how much they were, but they're quite cheap. Got lots of different sizes. Only find one that fits. You see how much more oil comes out this side. Let's just level up the bike a bit, see if there's anything else coming out. There's a little bit more, not a lot. And just let that drain until all the oil's out. Then we're ready to put the filter back in and the drain bolts. Okay, we're now ready to put the new filter on. So we can see the old one there. The new one. See which way around it goes. Look at that. Compare it to the old one that we take off. The open bit goes down at the bottom. So fit that straight in. Pretty much it. Just sits straight in and then line up. In terms of longest, next, and then shortest. Obviously you're supposed to torque check these. I don't have a torque wrench that will take an Allen key, so I can just hand tighten. You don't want to go too tight aluminium casing, and your threads go with steel bolts, but obviously you don't want them coming undone either. So it's trying to get the right balance. So that's that one in with the new filter. Next, I'll put a new copper washer on there. And we go into the bolt. Hold down there. And again, I can't put the torque wrench on this one because I can't actually get the wrench in there because of the frame. Very handy. Again, you want it tight enough not to come loose, but not too tight to break the thread on the aluminium casing. So about that. And then we go around the other side and we're ready to put the last one in. Alright, so over this side again, put a new washer on into there. I've actually had this re-threaded because it went a few years back when I was doing a change. Don't know if you can hear that on the camera, but someone's alarm's going off, rather annoying. Now this one I can actually get a torque wrench on, so I might torque check it in a moment. Okay, look at the difference in colour of what came out and what we're putting in. Right, with the oil filter it's 1 litre. Apparently what total amount 1.2, which I presume means there's probably some still in there somewhere. So with oil replacement, oil filter replacement, 1 litre. So I'm using a measuring jug all the way up to the 1 litre. And then I'm using Castrol Power Racing 10W40 4-stroke motor oil. And that is pretty much it. But what I'm going to do now is you've got to start the bike. Obviously put the oil plugs back in first before I put the bash plate on, and then I'll let it run for a bit so I can then check the level, but also check for any leaks before I put the bash plate back on. So before we put the bash plate back on, let's take that out. cap back on. Put the dipstick back in. Right, so everything back on tight. Start the bike, but also wipe around the drainage plugs on both sides. And around the filter cover, so that you can see whether or not any oil is coming out, because that's not what you want. Let's see if it starts. So I'll let that run for a couple of minutes, maybe a bit longer, and then come back to check the level. Okay, so I've been running the engine for a few minutes, and what I do is I just put a little block here so that the bike's a bit more upright on the stand rather than putting the whole paddock stand on. And also, if you look here, you'll see some oil here, because whilst it's running, you literally just open that a little bit, the dipstick, which is also the oil pressure check, and just check there's a little bit of oil coming out as the engine's running. That ensures you've got the good pressure and there's no issue. And then once it's settled, it's only literally just been switched off, so it's probably okay. I don't like the way these bikes need to be run first before you can check the oil, but there we go. It's not dead upright, but it's pretty much upright. Unscrew that. Of course, the oil's all nice and clean now. I can't actually see much. You can see the markings. Head torch there. Put it back in. And where are we? We're right to the top. Yep. I can see. You probably can't see it on the camera, but it is right up to the top there. So we're good. Good to go. And that is it for the oil change. Just got to put the bash plate back on, and we're good. I checked all over, as you'll see here. There's no leaks there. I also checked the other side. I won't show you now, but it's literally just making sure there's no oil coming out of there. Just flick it over. There you go. I'll show you the camera over here. And underneath here, we did the same. Just underneath there for that. Make sure that wasn't leaking, and obviously all around the filter replacement, and that is it. Just got to put the bash plate back on, and I'll take that little block away to make it more stable. Alright, you're probably not interested in watching the bash plate go back on, but there we go. And there you go. As soon as you've done that, that's your oil change complete. So I'll just finish that and we're done.